I expect this interview to be informative and helpful, especially because I'm asking Mrs. Harris advice specifically for someone in my position. I respect and value her opinion, so I'm really intrigued of what she has to say. Tell me a little bit about your career path that got you to where you are today.
Okay. Okay, I spent most of my career in marketing, starting as a product manager and working my way up through the marketing organization, ending at vice president of marketing for a global organization. And while I was there, I realized that social media was going to become very important for marketing. So I hired an agency to do the social media for me, and that's where I ended up now, helping to run a social media agency.
So what do you like best about running a social media agency?
Okay, I love learning new things all the time. It's changing so fast, and there's so many new opportunities for marketers to use social media to help the market. So I love that, and I love working with young people and helping mentor and grow them in their careers.
Right. So what would you say to someone who's starting out at the bottom for a position at your company?
At the bottom, I would tell them that they need to, focus and work really hard, and always stay on top of all the new developments, and just really trying to do their best work possible, whatever assignment they're given, and show an interest in continuing to learn and expand their skill set.
Would be the most important skill to possess?
Well, I think it would depend on what role you were interested in, but I would think that the most important skill to have when you're starting your career is a thirst for knowledge, and the ability to really listen and absorb and learn from everybody that's around you, and read, and just really kind of always stay on top of new development. So I think the skill is really the ability to learn.
Right. So the industry is so lucrative, and it's always changing. So how do you stay up to date with everything of like the current trends and everything?
Oh, that's very tough.
Sorry.
I know how to stay on top of trends. Well, there are a number of different things, but what I personally do is now kind of every morning I make sure to check, my feed. So I check my Twitter feed, my LinkedIn feed, Facebook feed, looking for, any new developments that have come up, and like reading articles. I'm an avid reader, so I read Business Week and Fortune on a regular basis. I read the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. So and also set Google alerts for areas of interest to me.
When you started out your career, did you see yourself ending up where you are here?
No.
Where did you see yourself ending up?
I had no idea, honestly. I didn't have a clear-cut path when I started. I would say I just wanted to do a good job at whatever I was doing, and kind of really just kismet that brought me. My path was very unplanned.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's better to have a plan or to go in with an open mind of whatever you do?
Well, it depends. If you have a real strong passion for something, then you probably should have a plan. But if you don't, then I think open-mindedness is better.
Despite all the concepts and strategies that you learn in college, the work that you do is you learn it as you go. So what's the best way to prepare for a job in your industry?
To really expand your network, because networking is the most important skill you can learn, I think, especially when you're job hunting in today's world. So you want to expand your network as wide as you possibly can. And then the second piece is to really just do a lot of research and reading, whether it be on the industry, on the company, on the competitors of the company, on technology if it involves technology, but really do research before you even you're very, very knowledgeable about whatever you're, applying for. But, your college experience gives you the foundation to kind of put you there. So I don't think what you learn in college really honestly helps you that much in your job, because you're going to learn as you are in it.
Yeah.
But it gives you the skills to learn.
When you interview potential employees, what's one of the toughest questions that you ask them?
The toughest question. Probably, I wouldn't say the toughest, but the most important question to me that I ask is do they have any questions for me? Because I want to see what kind of research that they've done on the firm, the industry, the job itself, to see how they think, to see what kind of questions they're going to ask me.
Do you remember the best response you've gotten?
I can't say it's the best response, but recently I was, it wasn't really a job interview, but I was meeting with somebody, and I thought this was a very clever question, so I'll just share this now. That this person asked me, what is the brands that I most want to work with now? So I thought that was really an interesting question to kind of flip the table and ask me about.
Right. Where do you see the industry, of PR and social media and everything? Where do you see it going in 5 to 10 years?
I think in 5 to 10 years, I think PR, if you ask me specifically about PR and social media, I think there's going to be more of a convergence, and kind of they will become one, because it's going to be hard to differentiate between those two specialties, I'll call them, because so much of PR now depends on social media and the effects that you can get with the use of it. So I think it's going to be a convergence, and probably there'll be maybe one or two new platforms that haven't even been developed yet. I think that technology, like kind of ad spend and technology and targeting, will become even more precise, so that marketers will really be able to target more specifically than they can today the consumers they want to reach. And also, I think the ability to prove return on investment with the spends will be much improved from what it is today.
And lastly, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Basically, to enjoy the moment that you're in your career. Of course, work hard and, look for the next opportunities, but to really enjoy where you are at the present and not always look to the future, because the future will come, but the present is kind of where you're really living. So don't let that pass you by.
This interview was as informative as I'd hoped, and also gave me more of a sense of direction. With an interview for Capitol coming up, I feel talking to Mrs. Harris helped alleviate some concerns and stress I had. This P&I gave me an insight to the other side of interviewing and reminded me of important strengths to demonstrate to potential employers.